Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So today we're reviewing the Airhogs Darth Vader TIE Fighter Advance X1 Starfighter. What this review is going to be all about is an unboxing, an inspection, a setup, and a flight test. I'm hoping maybe I can fly it in this house. It's pretty bad outside and gloomy, but if it kind of clears up, I'll go ahead and take it outside in my yard too and just try it out. I think this one is kind of foam, so you want to have really barely any to no wind at all to fly this. This is kind of like a plane where it's got like a propeller on the back, and so it's a glider kind of plane, so it's not like a quadcopter. So definitely going to be interesting to test this out. Don't forget, I will have the link to this down in the description where you can check it out. Click on that link and see the pricing on this currently and all the specs. And so here it is. It's actually a ducted fan, so you can see the fan. That's going to give it its propulsion, and then you're going to steer it left and right only. So I'm not sure, I guess by throttle is how you're going to gain altitude, just by giving it more power. There's no real flaps to adjust except for the rudder here. Anyway, let's go ahead and unbox this without further ado and see what this thing's all about. Getting the box open here. Let's go ahead and pull it out and see what we got. Oh, that thing was really in there. Anyway, instruction manual, and here it is. So we got the controller right there. Looks like we have kind of a twist lock. That's also a twist lock. Okay, so both twist locks. There we go. So you just gotta twist it until it kind of falls out. Anyway, there's the controller, very basic. There's a knob here. We'll have to check out what that does. Here's your little compartment for charging. You're going to plug right into the actual plane to charge the battery, and it's going to charge from the batteries in the controller with these ones. Let's see if we can get this off. There we go. So you're going to pop in 6 AA batteries there. Let's go ahead and take the plane out. You want to be careful with the wings because, as you can see, these things are pretty fragile foam wings. And this whole thing is just kind of attached to the bottom of the box. So it's kind of like a sandwiched deal, it looks like. You can see that. So it won't be damaged in shipping. So once we pop open the plastic sandwich, we get the plane. So neat. So there's our little rudder in the back. It's just a very simple looking little servo blade in the front. And it looks like there's also one behind it there. So it's like a dual system. So maybe that's how they're getting it to like pitch roll or something. That's actually a very good idea. But it's actually pretty solid. The round part on the front is actually very solid. The only thing that you're going to want to be careful of is the wings here. It looks like they put this plastic on here to stay. There's like this plastic, hard plastic tape. And so I'm going to leave that on. I think that's purposefully put on there just for some added support in like crashes and stuff. Give it a plug in, and then you can see that on the controller we have a red blinking light, and that means that it needed a charge and it's charging. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of set this down. Let's see if there's any easy way to do this. There we go. So probably want to do it like that, where you just flip it nose down and let it kind of sit there and charge. So I'm going to let this charge till the light turns off, and then we'll go ahead and do our test flight. Okay guys, so this thing finished charging. What happens is the light turns green on here and then it goes off. So that tells me that the battery in the TIE Fighter is completely charged. So I'm just stuffing in the charging cable back into the controller. Now the wind kind of died down a little bit, so we might be able to go ahead and fly this outside, but I just want to see if it's even possible inside first. Let's go ahead and get started. So turning on the power, and then turning on the power of the controller. Okay, so when you take off, you can see here the rudder here is always turned to the right. And I guess actually that's what this knob is for. So as I turn this knob, you can see the rudder there moving left and right. So you just want to trim that to center as much as possible. while we're flying, we'll be able to trim that too. So now if I use the right stick left and right, you can see how that should turn the plane like this. So I have a feeling like it's probably not going to do very good in the house, but let me just try one quick little attempt. Yeah, so this is definitely an outside flyer, unless you have a really giant house. Let me just try to launch it real quick in here. Probably going to crash into a wall. Here we go. Whoa, yep. All right, cool. So it is actually sprinkling just slightly outside here, but there is no wind. So I'm going to go ahead and test this out. What I didn't notice is look at the back here. You can see that the tail flaps, there's actually no flaps, but they're just kind of concave, flipping up a little bit. So that's kind of how it's going to maintain its lift. So let's go ahead and power this thing up and see how this thing flies outside. This will probably be a little crash test too, but anyhow, let's go. So I'm just going to kind of hold it at the front, and as I give it throttle, I'm going to go ahead and launch it. Let's see how it does. Wow. Okay. Whoa. Okay, so this one you're going to need a lot of space. It seems to be okay. Not really any damage done. Let's just get out here and fly around the cul-de-sac. So you can see how it's kind of sluggish, but it does fly. Let's try that again. Full throttle. And you can see that it's just kind of maintaining its height. Whoa. Oh. Right into the sidewalk. Let's see what the damage is now. Okay, so that really hammered it into the sidewalk, and I'm not seeing any damage here. Maybe on the bottom here, kind of the plastic thing kind of popped out a little bit. Just push that back in. Seems okay. Anyway, let's keep flying until we either run out of battery or break something. So right off the bat, I'm noticing that probably you want to use this in the park. Neighborhood like this, maybe if you're a really good flyer, but this is more for a big park. Let's try again. Oh! It looks like it's still holding up. Nothing's really broken yet, except for this bottom piece of plastic keeps kind of popping out a little bit. So a little tip, maybe super glue that thing in, those little notches. But anyway, it still seems okay. Actually, that's a good little handle holder for your fingers. All right, let's just keep going. Whoa. So you want to have a lot of room, obviously, because what's happening is there's no way to really adjust the height aside from you throttling it super hard. There. Left, boom, into the house. Okay, so I'm definitely crashing this thing like crazy, but it's still kind of maintaining. Nothing's actually broken yet, which surprises me. There's a little tiny dent in the wing there. Okay, let's keep going. There we go. So you just want to do like little notches to the left and right. See that there? There we go. Don't go in the neighbor's yard. So I'm full throttle and I'm just kind of notching it right and left to turn. Whoa. So it's a little wobbly, but you just want to do very slight notching. I'm going to kind of let off a little, bring it down. There. Okay, so you just need a big area, and it flies actually pretty well. There we go. Let's come in for a landing. Nice. Okay, so not bad actually. You just need a big area. And don't hold the control all the way to one side. Just do little slight adjustments. Otherwise, it seems like what happens is you hold it all the way to go to one direction, and it turns so hard that it starts losing too much altitude. So only do that like in an emergency. Cool guys, so back in the house with the TIE Fighter. Once you kind of get the hang of it, it's actually not bad. And so let's go through quick little pros and cons now on this guy. So little trim knob worked really well. You were able to trim out your rudder there, and it seemed to not fly good in any kind of closed area. If you're a Star Wars fan, of course, always awesome to just have something like this. Definitely don't want to fly this in any kind of wind. So if there's any kind of wind outside, it was pretty much just dead calm. There was a slight, maybe once in a while, 1 mile per hour breeze, and you could even feel that when it kicked into the wind or whatever. You could really feel the wind influencing it. So just kind of be careful with wind. Big area. I wasn't able to really do any kind of flight timing, but I would assume you're probably going to get anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes on this one, maybe even more, because it's only one or two motors in there. They're giving it thrust. It's not like a quadcopter, which has 4 motors, and the motors are always spinning to keep itself up. This one actually has wings to glide, so you're going to get a way more efficient vehicle than a quadcopter. But of course, you don't get the precision control. Still fun, still cool. Wouldn't recommend this for like a super beginner flyer because you're going to get frustrated. But it's got high crash durability. I mean, I slammed this thing into my wall. I slammed it into a couple trees, slammed it into the sidewalk, slammed it into the outside of my house several times, and nothing broke. Just this little piece of plastic cover here for the battery, and the stuff just popped off a little, but as you can see, it's popped back in, and not even really any scratching aside from this little notch in the wing, just slight tiny little notch, and that's really it. Anyway guys, I hope you liked that review. I do a lot of reviews like this, and I hope this was informative for you. And go ahead and check out my videos, my channel. I do a lot of videos like this, a lot of reviews, and I think you'll enjoy it. And I also do a lot of giveaways, so check out the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.